Fibroid is something that a lot of women suffer from. And I have heard some myths. I have heard that it's mostly about African women, that it's mostly African women that suffer from it. I don't know. But in the house today, we have a specialist. We are glad, we are privileged to have a specialist in the house who is going to break the myths, the causes, the common symptoms, the diagnosis, and maybe some treatments of fibroids so that we can hear from a professional. Some of the myths, they also say, oh, if you're on the big side, you're prone to having fibroid. So I'll also ask my co-host after now, maybe you will respond after now. You are on the big side, but and we've done a live where you said you've done 9 surgeries, but you never mentioned anything about fibroid. So I think that we use the opportunity to bust that myth as well, that it doesn't matter whether you're big or small, because I know people who are small, who are on the smaller side, that have also undergone that surgery. So I would like to introduce first my co-host, Smartometer, here on TikTok. Her name is Smartometer, but her name is AB Obiora Ikediomo. She's always been there, supporting this live from the inception. And she's here today with a specialist who is going to break all these things down for us. Her name is Sarah Smart. She's a nurse, a professional. She has BSc in nursing. She's a registered nurse, RM. She has PGD in mental health and psychiatry nursing. She's also a fertility nurse. You see all these plenty degrees, only one person. So we are here. Just be rest assured that you're in the hands of a specialist. Just pay attention if you have a sister, a mom, a friend who is suffering from symptoms of symptoms that have to do with fibroid. This is the time for you to come and listen and get the right information so that you know what to expect when you go to see your doctor. Okay, so here we go. I leave the floor to Sarah Smart to give us what she has for now, and then later on we'll continue with the conversation. I also want to let the audience know that I have a profound story, a very profound one to tell, but I want to give the room to my specialist to take the floor. Welcome, Sarah Smart.
We're going to leave the floor now for Nurse Sarah Smart.
Thank you very much, Niger Hot Mom. I'm happy to be here with you. Let me go straight to the point without taking much of our time. Like you said, rightly said, the month is for fibroid enlightenment, or I don't know, celebration, or fibroid generally, fibroid awareness. So we all know, I don't think there's anybody that hasn't heard of fibroid or what fibroid is, but I'll try to be as simple as I can be. Fibroid are non-cancerous growths or tumors in the uterus of a woman of reproductive age, childbearing age. It's not just every woman, like an elderly woman might not have fibroid because she's past childbearing age, and a younger female won't have fibroids because she's not up to childbearing age. Fibroids can grow very big and become uncomforting to the woman. She might experience pains. She might have excessive bleeding. Others might have fibroid too, but won't be noticeable by them because they don't even feel it, except they go for diagnostic investigations, and that's when they find out they already have fibroids. So, fibroids can never be cancerous. It can never be cancerous, and fibroids cannot lead to other cancers of the uterus or the body. So it doesn't mean that I have fibroid today. Oh, I'm scared because of this fibroid. I might have cancer of one of the parts of my body. No, it doesn't happen that way. So fibroids into a particular woman, it varies in size. Like I said the first time, a particular woman can have very big fibroid, and she can have numerous fibroids. One person living, working, alive. She finds out. That's when she knows she has that with her. Some extreme cases, like I said, it grows very large, and that woman may not be able to cope And that's when you hear, like in this part of the world, that's when we choose to seek medical attention. Symptoms of fibroids. Fibroids generally cause you have excessive bleeding. Some fibroids cause pain. We have longer and more frequent periods. Originally, maybe the period is supposed to be 3 days, but with fibroids, it could be 5 days, and it's longer and it's heavy, it's excessive, the bleeding is excessive. Some people, due to the size of the fibroids, maybe resting on the kidney, they might have frequency of urination. She's always going to ease herself. It's because of the fibroid. Of course, with fibroids, the stomach size increases. You see her, she appears pregnant, but she's not having a child inside. It's just fibroids occupying. Some women have back pain due to the size of the fibroid, and they have pain during sex. Fibroid has different types, and the types vary according to where they are located in the body, in the uterus or in the uterus. We have what they call intramural fibroids. Those ones grow within the muscular wall of the uterus, just inside. That's what we call intramural. We have submucosal fibroids. Those ones are under the inner lining of the uterus. You hear some women say, I've been living with fibroids, so it's not disturbing me. I know I had my baby soon, and the fibroid is there, or the fibroid was there. Nothing happened. It's because of the location. Every fibroid or every sufferer has different locations. So you can't just say, oh, Mrs. A had fibroids and had all her babies, she's alive, and you're just telling me to remove this fibroid, else it will be lead out to my health. You just have to obey the doctor because he has seen the location, and that's your location might be worse than the other person's location. So there's really no comparison. We have what we call penticulated fibroid. This is the least common type of fibroid. They attach to the uterus with a stalk or a stem. Generally, we have causes of fibroid. Causes, the most common cause, or what were the general notion of about fibroids, is that it is idiopathic. It doesn't have a known cause. It just comes up. Sorry for the interruption. We have hormones. The number one cause is that it's idiopathic. Like I said, nobody knows what the cause is. The second cause is hormones. Estrogen and progesterone levels. When they are too much, they are too high in the system, it can cause fibroid.
Sorry, please.
Those are major.
Is anything happening to your lighting?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I thought it was
Not happening
Sylvester.
again. No, no,
Yes.
no, no.
Sorry about that. We are using the generator and it's running
Oh,
off and on.
oh, okay.
So,
Sorry.
the hormones, the fibroids, when the hormone levels increase. That's why in pregnancy and in premenopausal women, the risk of fibroids is reduced because the levels of the hormones are reduced. So then you can see the fibroids are shrinking
Which hormone
at
again?
that time. Estrogen and progesterone,
Yes, from two of them. Okay.
they reduce in pregnancy and they are low in premenopausal women. So that's why, or menopausal women, that's why you don't have fibroids with a lady that's attained menopause. It might be there. Maybe she had it a long time ago, and when she attains menopause, you hear her medical practitioner or her gynecologist will tell her, "There's no need taking this off. It will shrink with time because levels of the hormone is reducing or has drastically been reduced. So it shrinks the fibroid." We have risk factors of fibroids. Obesity is a risk factor. Yes, you mentioned during the intro, you mentioned about size. There's a link with the size and fibroid. You know, when a woman is big, the big body mass index, the hormones too, it's in larger quantities in her system that will cause fibroids to grow in that lady. We have family history of fibroids. They say it's hereditary, and I think it's still the same hormones. I got the hormone from my mom. My daughter has to get the hormones from me. So, not having children. Generally, the uterus is not supposed to be empty because when you're pregnant, estrogen, progesterone reduces. So, when a lady is not pregnant or when it's empty, fibroid grows. Hormonal level increases, and thereby, person can have fibroid. Any onset of menstruation, A lady that starts attains menarche too early, it's the hormones there too. The hormones were introduced to her system early. That can cause fibroids too. Late menopause too is still the hormones playing a role in the system. Because if she hasn't attained menopause, maybe 50 or late 50s, fibroids will keep going in that system because of the hormones present there. Fibroids can generally, I think, the treatment or the management is surgery. What we call fibroids are also known as myoma. What we call myomectomy, taking it off. It can be seen through the diagnostic technique is ultrasound scan. It can be detected through ultrasound scan and taken off through. Or if it's so big, or the lady has is past the childbearing age and it has occupied the larger surface of the uterus, or the number is so much, they would advise her to go for hysterectomy. That's a total removal of the uterus. So she would be free from fibroids. We have complications of fibroids, unbearable pain. Some ladies will have this abdominal pain, unexplainable. It's either it's painful here in front, lower pelvis, lower abdomen, rather, some come at the back, unbearable. The fibroids. Of course, swelling of the abdomen. You see beautiful ladies on the world if they are not pregnant. Fibroids. Excessive bleeding. Some ladies bleed and they become anemic. They are admitted and transfused because of fibroids. There are myths or I don't know, generally they say African Americans are prone to fibroids. Very correct. Because one, our diet, in what we now can predispose us to fibroids. Most of the things we consume are, permit me to use the word inorganic. Inorganic foods are in circulation without being checked. We consume that a lot. So that predisposes us to fibroids in this part of the world. Also, there's a link, research has a link between fibroids and stress. The stress the woman undergoes. There's also a link between fibroids and relaxers, chemicals. I wouldn't want to use the word relaxer. Chemicals we use on our hair. Now, the more we expose our hair to chemicals and relaxers, it can cause fibroids. Yes, yes. We also have vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin C deficiency is more in African American women. It has a link to increased cost of fibroids. Our diet, like I said, we eat processed or inorganic, other than organic or inorganic, red meats. Prior to this time, things are changing. We seem to love red meat in this part of the world. It can lead us to fibroids, developing fibroids. Obesity, alcohol consumptions. I don't know why African American woman consumes more alcohol, especially beer. The more
Are
we
you
take in,
sure? Are you sure they consume more? Because this place where I dey, beer and water.
they take alcohol, but not beer. They take alcohol, they take wine, red wine, and all of that. But
Beer,
beer,
they drink a lot of beer.
okay. And you know, in that part of the world, it's not adulterated. Your beer is your beer.
Well,
Here, our beer might be, other concoctions might be added, not the regular beer. So with that, we have more alcohol consumptions in this part of the world. So, in conclusion, I can say fibroids are 3 times more likely. Ladies generally, female population are 3 times more likely to be hospitalized with problems related to fibroids. Like the general female population, 3 times of their hospitalization will be because of fibroids. Yes. Then we have 7 times more likely to have surgeries due to removal of fibroids. Let me say myomectomy. The female population will have 7 times surgeries because of fibroids. And lastly, they are 2 times more likely to have a hysterectomy to remove fibroids. That is when the fibroids have grown so much or they are everywhere. 2 times of the female population would have a total removal of their uterus, what we call womb, because of fibroids. That will be all for now. I'm here to respond to your questions, concerns, and whatever you have to say. Thank you very much. Nigeria Hot News.
Thank you so much, Nurse Sarah Smart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, if you are on this live, tap the screen so that not just you will have this information. The more you tap on the screen, the more you like the live, the more you share it, the more people will have access to it. So please, let's increase the likes. You can't just be here and not like the live. So guys, you too, please tap on the screen. Yeah, so that's that. You mentioned a couple of things, and I was just thinking, I've heard before that hair relaxers
Yeah.
affect our hormones in some ways. And we started perming our hair since I don't know how long ago, so many years ago anyway, we've been perming our hair. But like 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, I said to myself that I will no longer apply a relaxer on my hair. So my hair as it is right now, like half of it is natural, but the rest is still the permed part. And I don't want to cut it off yet. I still want it to grow and grow and grow, and then after some time, I will cut it off. So it's not like I felt anything in my body or anything, but I just still this my self-care thingy. I want to stay away from so many anything that has to do with chemical. I'm trying to the ones that I can eliminate out of my life. I'm trying to just eliminating them. So that's that. There was another thing you said again about inorganic food. We eat a lot of inorganic food that is causing this thing. Okay, so I'm going to come on now with the story that I had to say because of this inorganic food, because there was a switch in diet that helped this particular woman. So let me go on with the story. Are you guys ready to listen to my story? How many people do we have on the viewers side? 3. No problem. Continue to watch and continue to share the live. Tap on the screen. So when I was living in Mauritius, this was 13 years ago, 12 years ago. 12 years ago. I don't know, before I go into the story, I don't know, my co-host, do you have any reaction to what she has said before I go on with the story?
You can go on with the story. I was just going to say, Sarah Smart just put it very well. She explained it to the barest minimum, and everybody, whether you're in the medical field or the layman, will just naturally understand it. So thank you very much for that clear explanation of the fibroid.
Thank you. So this was like 12 years ago. I met this woman. We had an organization back then for African ladies. We created this organization to help the less privileged Africans that were in Mauritius then. So we also had collaborations with the government of Mauritius. They will call their radio station to come and feature us, we talk and things like that. There was a lady that came on our live once, Lucia. I used to call her Presido. I don't know if you remember her. Yes. Yes. So she was our president then. And most of the TV and the radio interviews, she used to go to them, except the ones that would go in group. So yeah, so that was where I met this woman. She's an elderly woman. She was maybe like in her late 50s then. By now she should be in 12 years ago, so she should be like in her 60s. So usually we'll do what do you call it? We'll like today you will invite all of us, we'll come to your house, so I will cook. If I invite you guys today, you will come to my house, I will be the one to host you. So it was her turn to host the African ladies then. So we went to her house, she gave us food, we ate and everything. That was when she now told us the story, because she wasn't eating what we're eating. We noticed that she wasn't eating what we're eating. So we're like, why are you not eating what we're eating? She now said, that she's vegan, that she cooks all these things, she cooks for her husband, for her children, but she doesn't eat it. So we asked her why. Why did you choose to become a vegan? That was when she told us the story, her journey of healing through with fibroid. I don't know how to speak the English. She had fibroid, and she didn't know she had fibroid. She just said one day she saw that she was bleeding profusely. She was bleeding, she kept bleeding, and she watched it for a while. She now felt it was getting so bad, she had to go to the hospital. So when she got to the hospital, the doctors diagnosed her and said she had fibroid. That the stage it was then, that the only option they had was surgery. That the only option was surgery. So she was like, she would go and think about it. So she went back home, thought about it. After some days, she explored other options, and she decided to do what do you call it again? She wanted to go into like transformational lifestyle and do what do you call it? What do you call this thing? Alternative therapy. Alternative is the word I'm looking for. She decided to go for alternative therapy instead of going for the surgery. So she said she was ready to, because they gave her conditions. They told her that this alternative therapy is definitely going to help you with this fibroid, but you have to stick with the plan. They told her this fibroid did not happen in 1 year. It didn't happen in 2 years. It took a long number of years for it to get to where it is now that took you to the hospital. So you have to be patient for a minimum of 3 to 4 years on this alternative therapy that we're going to place you on before you begin to see results. And she said she was ready. So, and this, as at that time, she told me it was 20 years ago that the thing happened to her. So it means she was like in her 30s. So this is also to tell you, the youngsters out there, you could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s, and you could come down with fibroids, you know. So she said they told her that she would only eat organic food. You see where that inorganic thing that you talked about. So she now looked for organic stores around her. So she was only just buying organic food. It's unfortunate that most of our food today are tainted, either with chemicals, pesticides, maybe fertilizer or GMO, I don't know, whatever, a lot of things. People come once in a while to debunk even the GMO thing. I saw a video the other day too on Instagram, but it is what it is. There's nothing that is better than natural food. So that was one of the recommendations they gave to her. And then they also told her to stop eating anything that has blood in it. Anything that has blood in it. So, I mean, we can use our minds to think of what has blood. Fish, meat, you know. Yeah. So she stopped eating all of that. And then they told her that she will have to go on fasting for 3 days without food. Then when she does that one successfully, she will go back to eating, and then she will go for 3 days again. Then she will go on 7 days fasting without food. And then she will go back again to eat for 7 days, and then she will go for 15 days fasting. So that was how she kept doing it until 30 days fasting. But she was drinking water, she was juicing, you understand? But she was not eating heavy. Then they told her she will only use she will not eat oil. So as at that time we met her, if she wants to make rice or something, she would make the stew like a soup for her own. She would make it like soup, you know, without oil, without butter, without any of those things. That she was going to live like that. She was going to eat her foods without honey. She was going to do away with honey. No honey in her food. Only vegetables. And they told her some of the vegetables. If you're on the live and you're listening, you can take this information down, or after the live, usually TikTok, the lives are usually long, so I don't like posting everything. But maybe I would cut out this section and post. So I'll do another video and post with the information. Or if you come into my DM, if you really want to do this, you can come into my DM and I'll send you the list. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a doctor, but we have a specialist in the house. She will also react to what I'm saying, but this is a true life story that happened, okay? So they told her she has to be eating vegetables, and some of the vegetables they told her were spinach. She has to eat a lot of spinach. She has to eat beetroots. She has to eat sweet potatoes, not Irish potatoes, sweet potatoes. She has to eat a lot of beans. She has to eat a lot of watercress. She has to eat a lot of basil leaves. These were some of the ones that she mentioned to me. So she said she started the journey. And then after like 2 years, she noticed that the spotting was already, almost stopping. It was getting better. So she now said, okay, at this point, she wants to become, instead of being a vegan, because she was now on a strict vegan diet. So after 2 years, she went on a vegetarian diet. So at that point, she could not eat things like eggs. She could take a bit of milk, things like that. And she One second, let me see. Yeah, eggs. She started eating a bit of fish, just small, small. Yeah, no, that was 2 years ago. Okay, two. She started eating fish. Okay, 5 years ago. No, that was not it. That was not part of it. She became a vegan anyway. So she started eating a bit of eggs and some milk and some milk, animal products, not the real animals. So, and then she now went back to the hospital after 5 years. She went back to the hospital after that 2 years. Sorry, I'm kind of mixing up the information because I'm just going through the draft that she gave me. After that 2 years, she went back to the hospital for the doctors to check her again. So
That's a
when she
painful
got back to the
story.
hospital, yes. So I think I was at the point of where she went back to the hospital. And before I continue the story, Dr. Ifechi, welcome to the house.
Thank you guys. I can only join you guys by audio because I'm
Yes,
still new to TikTok. This
yes.
TikTok is for the Gen Zs.
Ah, we are all Gen Z, so don't try us.
Hi Sarah, how you doing?
Very well, sir. Welcome.
Hi
Dr.
Debbie, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good to see all
Welcome.
of you.
Wow. Yes, good to see you too.
Really sorry for us joining very late. I know that this is like the reverse, but I wanted to be here today.
Yes,
So,
thank
upon
you.
all the difficulties to sign on, but I struggled with it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for trying to come in. Thank you. Okay, so I was telling a story. I will just continue. If you want to hear the beginning of the story, when I post this video, you can go and watch, and then you would hear the whole story. I don't have to repeat the whole thing again. So she now went back to the hospital after 2 years. When she got there, the doctors brought her file out, checked her, and said she was lying. That she came to lie that she had fibroid in the beginning. Do you understand? Because of the result,
Yeah.
because of the transformation that had taken place in her body, they told her this one an elderly woman. Oh, they told her that she was lying, and she lives in the US actually. So, so they told her that she was lying, and so they opened the file. You know that thing that somebody will tell you, this thing a lie, this thing cannot be true. You know that kind of thing. It was unbelievable. So after that, she also said that she just went back and continued with her therapy and continued taking, she was also taking some anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, then coconut water. She emphasized so much on coconut water. Yeah. So I think those were the things she said. And she said she was very, very intentional about this journey. She didn't miss a day. And she felt the transformation, her energy coming back, physical transformation happening to her. So about maybe 6 months ago or less, I had to call this woman again. Like I told you, I met her 12 years ago. So like 6 months ago, I had to call again because a friend reached out to me. Not reached out to me, we're talking, okay? We're talking and I discovered that this person was having this sort of issues. And they were also considering taking her for surgery because the doctor had told her surgery was the option for her. So when she mentioned that, I said, there was this thing that happened though 12 years ago in Mauritius. Let me see if I can reach this woman for her to speak to you. So I still had her number. So I reached out to this woman and I told her what my friend, this person told me, and she said, okay, she will be available so time, so day. So we booked a 3-way call and we're on this 3-way call. And this woman narrated the whole story. How she went to the hospital, how she was diagnosed, how she was bleeding and everything, and how she chose to explore other options. Okay, at this point, I will also say that if you have issues, go to the hospital, of course. But sometimes I even feel say our natural things there around us, where it will help us that we don't know. So if you have that kind of information, it's also good that you explore it. So she did that, and at the end, she was now telling her the whole story, everything I've said so far. She now explained everything to her, and this, my friend, began her own journey. Lo and behold, I'm not exaggerating, lo and behold, in 3 months, my friend said that she was feeling light, she was feeling energetic, the bleeding that was happening to her, like in 3 months, she that thing was already reducing drastically. It was already going down. And I told her, oh yeah, include exercise though. Try to include exercise too, not just the food. Make it they walk, they do some things, you know. I started doing that. And that was the report I got there. And I also called, I tried to contact her again, you know, from time to time I tried to get a report from her. Yeah. So let me just end it there for now. There's another backstory, but I will end it there for now. So anyway, so this is the story. This is a testimony that our foods can help. So this was the story I said I was going to tell. I would like you guys to also react to it. If there's anybody on the live that has any reaction, you can put in your comments, or if you want to come on the live, you're free as well to come and share your opinion, your suggestions, or to counter whatever it is that we have said here. So I leave the floor to you guys once again.
All right. Thank you very much, Naija Hot Mom. Thank you, Sarah, for the medical explanation, and then Naija Hot Mom for the alternative therapy explanation you gave us. But there's something that is a little bit confusing here. You know, we've also told you that the first instance is to seek medical opinion. So when you seek medical opinion, now decide to go to have an alternative therapy or whatever the doctor tells you. But this alternative therapy now, you see a lot of people confuse it. A lot of people tell you, oh, the doctor has said I should come and do surgery, I should come for surgery, but I won't do that. They go to some people and they mix so many herbs, they mix so many things for them to start drinking. And at the end of the day, instead of the fibroid getting healing, they go back to the hospital and the doctor tells them, oh, whatever you were drinking has scattered you, has made matters. So are you now telling me that this alternative therapy is different from the other people that they are still medical practitioners that mix these things for people to drink? Where can one draw a line?
I think it's because of this your question. I know that Nurse Sarah will answer this question better, but I just want to say something. I think it's because of this type of question, and you know the way people mix on the roadside and drink. That is why it is difficult for government to come up and say, okay, we have we approve of this thing. You know, there's no dosage, no management. People just mix stuff, you know. So I think that is one of the reasons. But I will leave it for Nosira to respond, and then because Ifeji is usually time bound as well, leave the room for Ifeji to speak. But Nosira, up to you.
Thank you very much, Naija Hot Mom. Your question, I know you're trying to draw a line between the alternative therapy and the alternative therapy. They are both alternative. But we have orthodox and unorthodox. I heard in some countries, precisely Ghana, that when you visit the healthcare, their hospitals, they give you an option to choose if you want orthodox or if you want unorthodox, and you treat accordingly. What she meant, what Naija Hot Mom meant, or her story, did not tell us about it. How will I put it? Unorthodox. It was mainly organic food. Okay. Organic food. If we want to consume drinks, it should be products, organic food, or the organic fruits, or whatever we're using for preparation should be organic. He mentioned the turmeric and some others. Yes. Yes. Those things should be. I know somebody personally, she had fibroids, she visited the doctor and surgery was prescribed. And she didn't want to do surgery. A young lady said she wasn't ready for that. And she was advised to stay off organic and inorganic foods. She was big on catfish. So she just stopped catfish generally. I asked her, so is it that you don't take fish anymore? She said if she wants fish, she will take the fish that is being locally, naturally harvested. not the one we grow artificially, the one in ponds that they feed. No, 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 no. That's if she wants to take poultry, that her chicken must be the one that they reared at home, that she cannot just go and buy frozen or go to the market to buy chicken because their feeds are inorganic parts. So they grow up with a lot of things in them because of what she already had. So she kept on with that. She lost a lot of weight. I believe the size of the fibroid reduced because she was really big. The abdomen was big. And she linked it, or the doctor linked it to the fibroids. So when she totally stopped taking that, or she limited herself to organic foods, there was a whole lot of difference. And the last of her I saw, I asked her how far. She said nothing like that anymore. And this wasn't, it didn't take up to the number of years your friend or the person you talked about take that over. Just being intentional. I also lost a patient on the other hand. She was supposed to go for surgery, but somebody said, there's this herbs you will take. It will shrink the fibroid. There's this herb. She said that was the last she could remember. She was brought into the hospital unconscious. She was taking the said herbs and she didn't know what happened. But when she got to the hospital unconscious, she was diagnosed of acute kidney injury.
Yeah.
The said herbs, I don't know whatever they used, that affected her kidneys. She couldn't make urine, was in the ICU, just there. With time, the kidneys picked up. And like I was on night shift, I was talking to the other patients. I said, when you're bringing water, when you're heating your water, please heat for. I called her name. I said, as you can see, she doesn't have relatives. Please just keep little water that I'll use to clean her up. Help her. The lady in question said it was when she heard in her subconscious when I told somebody to help her with water. That was when she knew she was still alive.
Whoa.
So she recovered gradually. Gradually, the kidneys picked up, and she narrated the story. I said, anything they tell her about herbs, about concussion, she will never attempt it. That peacefully she would have come to the hospital for surgery. But her friends say, no, there's this herb somewhere that shrinks fibroids. And in her bid to shrink fibroid, she almost damaged her kidneys. So we should be wise in our alternative medicine. Thank you very much.
Wow. 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 Guys, if you don't know who is been speaking, this is Nurse Sarah Smart. I will speak again. She has BSc nursing. BSc nursing. She's a registered nurse, RM, PGD, mental health and psychiatry nursing, fertility nurse as well. All these plenty degrees on top of one person. She's the one that I just spoken. Okay? So if you know someone who is suffering from fibroids, if you have a relative, or if you yourself are suffering from fibroid, I'll post this video. You go back, take your time, watch it, and do what you will with it. So
it's not as difficult.
Okay.
Sorry. It's not, before now, they hear went for fibroid surgery. Everybody would want to, they're scared. It's not as difficult as, it's not a very life-threatening surgery. It's like every other surgery. And the ones you hear went bad, maybe they didn't seek medical attention on time. I had myomectomy while I was having my baby alongside cesarean section. So it can be done that way, just to take it off and be free. So it's not something that people will say, God forbid, it's not my portion. No, the earlier, the better. Some left untreated or untouched increases in size. Increases in size, increases in number. Some will do, and it will still come back again. I was going to say, I've heard of people doing
myomectomy repeatedly.
Yes.
I've heard of somebody that, or I even know somebody that has done myomectomy twice.
Yes. Some people do it thrice. One, it might be different locations, and they didn't want to just pierce everywhere at the same time. Two, maybe after the first surgery, there was no modification of lifestyle. You had the surgery and you went the other way, started doing all the inorganic and all the other things. Fibroid came again. Or possibly, maybe a woman of a reproductive age, she had a myomectomy and there was no baby
Because
to
nature
occupy
abhors
space.
vacuum.
Yes.
So there was no, okay.
So the fibroid had every opportunity to occupy again. So it's not that because I did it once, it can't happen again. No. After the surgery, modify your lifestyle. You know, as a person, we all know those things we take that we feel somehow. There are some things you take that you can't bloated. Some meals or some things. Originally, you know that this particular thing, I don't think is good for me. That instinct, you know, you have that feeling. So when you do such procedures, you originally or naturally try to stay away from those things that are not good, or those things that made you feel the way you felt before you were diagnosed of fibroids.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
thank you, Nurse Sarah. Dr. Ifechi.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, this is a woman's word and woman's talk. A man doesn't know all this stuff.
But you have a woman now, you have a wife, you have a mom, you have sisters, you have female friends like me and our co-host here. So what are you saying?
No. This is a lady's topic. I'm just listening to this. I'm not a professional in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dr. Ifechi, you heard of fibroid. What's your own opinion? What can you just say? What do you know about fibroid? What did you do? You must have seen a sufferer of fibroid, or you must have heard that somebody, just what have you experienced, or how can you relate to it?
Fibroid is to what prostate is in a man. So
Okay.
every woman has fibroid. Every man has prostate. So for fibroid is an internal growth in the womb that impacts the ability of a woman to have bear a child. Sometimes people also have fibroid as they still have babies if it's not yet big, all those kind of stuff. So some people also have babies. After they have babies, they develop fibroid. So something, if discovered early, can be removed surgically, and the lady can decide to get another baby, have a baby. But it's part of the reproductive organ for women that makes them to have baby. So fibroid can be eliminated through several things, and there are some things called some of the general causes that might cause it, which the healthcare folks will know. So that's why I said I've not delved into that, but like you asked me, I'm just giving you explanation. Yes, people have fibroid. Some people take prescriptions and it goes down. Some people have to surgically remove it. Some people it's gone so bad before they know it, so even if they remove it, then it becomes difficult to be able to conceive. But generally, it's a matter of the person's internal physiological development. So there are so many things that might trigger it, which Sarah has already highlighted to us here. But above all is, I think, is just check your health. If you're a woman, check your health. Remember that some things that you take or do might either, kind of activate it to grow, or is already inherent or is already growing. So it's just a matter of the health status of someone. That's what I believe. Yeah, but I can't really talk in that essence because I'm not a medical doctor.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Ifechi. Dr. Ifechi has spoken as the non-professional in this field. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nurse Sarah, when you said you had CS and also did they removed some fibroids. Yeah, you said something like that. Yeah. I
Yes.
remember when I had my own CS. Not I remember. Was I awake? I was not awake. So how did I remember? I was told. I was told by my husband then that when they removed the baby, he spoke with the doctor to check for fibroid, and the doctor actually checked and said that my womb was clean. So when I woke up, he told me that that your womb is very clean. The doctor said, your womb is so clean, nothing, So that was one thing that also gave me joy. Me, I don't say person will go do a surgery, they will come, they check for other things. We're young then, just. So that's by the way. What else was I going to react to? Okay, in the meantime, I don't know if there's anything else. AB, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? If you have anything to say.
I'm just going to reiterate and for our viewers to note the things Sarah had said earlier on, that fibroid is not cancerous. So nobody should be afraid that, oh, because this woman has fibroid, I don't need to go close. It's not contagious, it's not cancerous, and then it doesn't have a link to any of the cancers. It's on its own. Also, that as estrogen and progesterone decreases, the chances of a woman having fibroid decreases, because estrogen and progesterone, they are the hormones that stimulate fibroid. They stimulate the growth of fibroid. So for older women, you not for older women, people that are almost menopausal, that have fibroid, most times the doctors tell them, don't worry, with time, once you get to menopause and above, it will shrink. So the fear of you going for surgery may reduce. Let's not be afraid to always seek medical opinion. When your body tells you otherwise, before in your period, you flow for three days, all of a sudden 1 week,
Yes.
and you're bringing out clots. It calls for proper investigation, or it calls for proper medical attention. If you notice that you're living a normal lifestyle and you're growing belly, your tummy is getting bigger by the day, you don't even understand what's happening. Or if you're a fitness enthusiast like me, you go to the gym, you're very mindful of your diet, but the tummy is not coming down. It calls for attention to, oh, why not let's do a scan to see what's actually in that tummy. Or you're feeling pain, lower abdominal pain, you're even feeling back pain. Some pains are referred. You may be having a fibroid and you're feeling it in your back. So those things shouldn't be taken for granted. Those little symptoms. Basically, what we are telling you is that health is wealth, and we should just be mindful of how we treat our bodies. Like what Naija Hot Mom was saying, they say anything that has blood, do not eat. And I also know that a lot of doctors, a lot of alternative practitioners tell you anything that is canned, anything that they tell you that has an expiry date, this thing will expire in 2025, you shouldn't eat those things, because they are filled with preservative so that they don't get spoiled before that time. Additives, we should try as much as possible to go natural, as much as possible. Even though, like my dad Hot Mom said, we live in an environment where a lot of chemicals for greed for money, or because of the economic situation, we add things. You see those people selling lettuce, they mix it with green chemicals. Even your vegetable, they mix it with some green substance to give it that green look. And you think that, be that as it may, if you have a small garden around you and you can grow your own vegetable, just try to be intentional about your health and what goes into your stomach. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And based off of the story I told, if you truly want to explore the alternative route, you have to have a whole lot of self-discipline. You have to have a whole lot of dedication, consistency. You see all these words, patience, all these things that we have been talking about. If you really want to fix yourself in that pathway, through that pathway, you have to be committed to the process and see if you actually will see results. Because even this friend of mine told me that not just that the blood clot and all of that was reducing, even there were some folds around her body, there were some skin, whatever that was like on her skin, all those things started disappearing. They all started disappearing. Remember, there was a live we did once, we were talking about listening to your body and all of that. And we said something like the treatments, if you begin to explore the self-care, good lifestyle, choosing your food and all of that, if you start exploring that part, there are certain diseases in your body. I'm sure Nurse Sarah will corroborate this. There are certain diseases that are inside our body that are not out yet. They are still trying to, gather whatever they want to gather to become full-blown disease in the body. But when you explore good lifestyle, it will just thwart those things. They will no longer come. So you might be treating one thing and some other things will get treated in the process as well. That's just all I'm trying to say. So guys, we've said a lot. I don't know if there's any final words that Sarah will give, and then we'll bring the live to a close. Thank you for everyone that joined the live, by the way. So Sarah, Jennifer, I see you. Thank you for coming. Sienna, are you still here? I don't know. Thank you for coming. And Dr. Ifechi, thank you for joining the live. For every other person that came, thank you so much. Sarah, your final words. Maybe I don't know if you still want to give final words, but I think you've given your final words. If not, if you still want to, you might go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Nigerian Hot Mom. Nothing to be scared about, nothing to be worried about. Once you suspect or experience the heavy bleeding, everything we've said, just go to the hospital. See a good gynecologist. Don't go elsewhere that they will tell you something else. Permit me to tell another story of a lady that thought she was pregnant. She's been having experiencing, she's been trying to conceive for years. She came to me, it's like I'm pregnant, but whenever I sit, she's a tailor. Whenever I step on my sewing machine, I bleed, and she assumed that she had miscarried. I said, have you gone to see the doctor? She said, no. I went to the lady that massaged, and she told me there were children inside, but anytime I come here, I miscarry. I knew.
Network.
There were fibroids.
Network.
But I needed her to be shot to have an evidence. I asked her, go for scan. She went there and she saw the massive fibroid there. And that led her to seeing the doctor, having a big not skin often at all. While in the real sense, because whenever she menstruates, the clots, the heaviness was likened to a miscarriage. Because she said it goes to the particular time of the month, she won't see her period. It's still as a result of the fibroid. She'll feel heaviness like she's pregnant already. Then all of a sudden, when it's time to menstruate, it will be heavy. So she kept on saying, I've been having series of miscarriage. And she was never pregnant. So anytime as a woman you feel funny, you inspect your menstrual flow is heavier than the usual. You see clots, one thing or the other, or you're trying to conceive, it's not really coming. Go visit the doctor, run some tests, do the investigations, and know what issue. Like the co-host said, the growing womb, that you do, you're a sports enthusiast and you've done everything, you keep fit, you eat healthy, but the belly fat is still there and it keeps growing. You experience pain. Going to see the doctor is not a bad idea. At least to know what the problem is, so as to get solution to this. Fibroid, lastly, is not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence, not in any way. The earlier you seek medical attention, the better for everyone. Thank you once again, Nigeria Hot Mom, for having me around.
Thank you so much. I also just remembered two things that I want to talk about. Um, I heard that the fibroid can be inside the womb or outside of the womb. So the one that grows outside, because I know someone that said has grew outside of the womb, and she underwent surgery, yeah, but she's not been able to have a child, but she did the surgery. So I don't know if the one outside of the womb can also affect inside the womb where the child is supposed to grow. I don't know. Then,
Funny enough, it might not be the fibroid. That
okay.
might better be fine. And there might be another reason for her not being able to have children. Not for the fibroid.
Might not be the fibroid.
And if she doesn't see a doctor, she wouldn't know there's no link.
And then I also know someone else that had a child. I know someone else that had a child, but after so many years, she couldn't conceive again. And I think she developed some fibroid. Yes, I went and did surgery to remove them. So I was just thinking in my head, so you can have a child, because I heard stories of people even getting pregnant with the child, with the fibroid in the womb. Some people, it happens to them like that. I don't know if you can just throw more light because of our viewers into that.
Like somebody having a child with fibroid,
Yes,
cystic
getting
fibroid.
pregnant with fibroid in the womb, or after having children, then you now begin to develop fibroid.
One, it's possible to be pregnant with fibroids. Depends on the location.
The
Like
location,
you said,
okay.
yes, of the fibroid. If it doesn't, it's not in the uterus, it doesn't interfere with the growth of the fetus, the baby.
Okay.
Pregnancy can occur and be maintained. Some will have, you'll get pregnant, and the fibroids might cause a miscarriage due to the location and the size too. Then a lady might have a child without fibroid and later develop fibroid. Lifestyle, hormonal changes can cause that. Maybe she was younger and ate a particular kind of food then after the birth of that particular child, she switched and adopted another lifestyle.
Okay.
The hormonal levels, there might be hormonal changes which caused an increase in the hormones. Fibroid could develop, she can develop fibroid as a result of that. So it's not a hard and fast rule that you don't have it today, you can't have it tomorrow. No,
Okay.
it can happen anytime, provided the woman is not, she has not attained menopause. She can have fibroids.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. I think this is where we'll bring the live to a close. I was looking for sound effect. I wanted to clap for you. Now I found it. Thank you so very much, AB Obiora Ikediomo, my co-host. Thank you so much for making this possible, and thank you, Able Nurse, for coming to really throw a lot of insight into some gray areas. For me, I have a clearer understanding now of, fibroid. And I'm also glad that we're able to do this in the month of fibroid awareness. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you viewers for joining the live. I hope that when we come live again next time you will join. But please always share, always tap. When you tap on the screen, it increases the views, the likes, and more people will be attracted to join the live. So don't be tired of tapping on the live. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. So we'll call it a day, right?